This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And to drive success, you need to have a good handle on these two things we're going to talk about today. And you've heard the terms before, but often we don't go into a lot of depth and detail on these two words or these combination of words, self-esteem and your self-confidence. Kind of a game changer in many situations. We're going to dig into that today. She's a Reiki master and has so much insight, coaches you along. We also do meditations here. She's got one coming up in just a little bit that connect to self-esteem and self-confidence. Samantha Somerville from Calming Vibrations is back with us. How are you doing today?
Doing well today. How are you?
Real good, real good. The the thought of self-esteem and self-confidence, they're very closely connected, but they are different. What is the difference between the two?
Well, self-esteem isn't always straightforward. On the surface, we may see ourselves as confident, capable, even grounded. But in certain situation comes along, and we're like a work meeting or family gathering, a social event, and suddenly that confidence feels shaky. We may feel or notice a familiar voice of self-doubt whispering, "What if I'm not enough? What if others see through me?" In truth, self-esteem is less about how we appear outwardly. It's more about the quiet relationship we have with ourselves. It's the inner knowing of I am who I am, and that's enough. But, in our world, this knowing gets challenged constantly. We're bombarded by messages telling us we need to be different. We need to look a certain way, earn more, achieve more, perform more. These voices can chip away at our sense of self until we start wearing masks, sitting smiling when we're not okay, pretending to be confident when we're really unsure,
Hmm.
simply to keep from appearing weak. Now, self-confidence grows when we honor who we are in every situation. It isn't about being flawless, loud, or bold. It's about presence, steadiness, and self-acceptance. So when we know our own values and we touch the quiet strength of our true self, we no longer need that external validation to tell us we're worthy. This is what I like to call returning to your core. That unshakable center within us is where our personal power resides. So from this place, we can begin to rebuild a healthy sense of self-esteem, one that isn't shaken by comparison, criticism, or even fear.
Would you say, Samantha, that self-esteem is what we're thinking and self-confidence is what we're doing with it?
Yeah.
So would we look at both of these differently today in terms of diving into them? Like let's tackle your self-esteem first, and then we'll handle self-confidence in a little while. Would that sound like a way to go?
I believe they're interconnected,
Okay.
much like how your body is interconnected with so many different parts of your body work together. Like your arm works with your shoulder, and your shoulder works with your torso, etc. The energetically, your self-esteem and your self-confidence are deeply connected. First to your solar plexus, which is just below the sternum, which we've talked about as a yellow color, like the color of sunlight, vitality, empowerment. When this is balanced, it gives you courage, decisiveness, ability to stand strong in who you are. When it's out of balance, you get overcritical, over self-critical rather, or dependent on others for validation. And you find yourself shrinking back, doubting your voice, or giving away your power too easily. Now, the throat chakra, which is related to that, is the energy center of communication, self-expression. Color is blue, which we've talked about. It sits at the base of the neck. It allows you to speak your truth with clarity and confidence. So when blocked, we can't find the right words. We feel nervous about expressing our feelings, even hold back our ideas out of fear of rejection. So when the two, solar plexus and throat, are in harmony, we not only feel strong in ourselves, we also find the courage to let that strength shine through in our words and action. We feel more, we live more authentically and live more freely. So when your self-esteem is more balanced and you feel better about yourself and your self-worth, your self-confidence grows. So I wouldn't put them separate. I'd say that they work together. Because you can be confident or you can put out the air and the mask of confidence. But if you're not feeling well about yourself inside, then it's just a mask.
Has this ever has this ever happened working with somebody, or could this happen? Let's say that somebody's thinking about something they need to do. They have to speak in front of an audience. They say it's one of the top three fears, and it's just wrestling with it. They don't have a lot of confidence. They know what they're going to be speaking about, but they're worried about it. Maybe how they're going to look and all of that. Would it be possible to have a Reiki session or a few with I think it was was it the sacral that you said, or it was solar plexus along with the
Solar
throat?
plexus. Solar
Okay.
plexus. Yeah.
Okay. Would it be possible, reasonable to even think that after a few sessions there to change the energy within someone that they may look at that scary moment of being in front of an audience and speaking, that it might not look as scary after changing the energy? Would that even be possible?
Yes, you can take that time and you can balance that out. Make sure that you have, I guess, for lack of a better term, calmness in those areas, and that you are you have more of a release there. If you were to do a session, I would recommend also the root chakra to make you feel like you're more grounded as well. Because especially if you're going to go speak in front of a lot of people, like a huge audience,
Mm-hmm.
you want to feel not only grounded, but you want to feel confident in yourself and feel that what you have to say is what other people need to hear. And be confident in your words. So it's a system that you need to make sure is all in alignment. Because if you're out of balance and you go up and you talk to people, they're gonna know. Not necessarily like, hey, that person has bad energy. They're all over the place. Not that. It's that your message is going to be all over the place, or you're not going to deliver it correctly
Ooh,
because you don't feel centered in yourself to be able to give that message.
deep question coming.
Mm, I'm
Deep
prepared.
question. Okay. Um, so I got that. If somebody is not feeling comfortable about themselves, that their message may not be clear, it may be not as focused as they want it to be or it should be. Now let's go to energy. What we put out is energy. If somebody's
Mhm.
energy is good and in alignment, maybe they had a Reiki session too, whatever, and things are where they should be. Do you feel that that person speaking in front of that audience, the energy is going to be different in a good way, more positive, more focused? Would that even be possible? And that it would be even more well received after their energy is kind of cleaned up.
It would help them be more open to what they are saying and being able to give and receive, and be able to access the energy of the environment, I would say, and not be closed off. And you would be a more charismatic individual in that situation because you will not have closed yourself off. So let's say you had like a Reiki session like earlier in the week and you're speaking later. That would then, I would say, before the session, before you actually go in and talk, take a moment and ground yourself
Hmm.
and just take a moment to do some breathing before you go out there, or however you would center yourself, whatever works for you. Because even though you had a session, you still need to make sure you take that time for yourself. before you walk into whatever you're going to do.
Interesting. It's almost as if, or like, when you see somebody walk in a room, might not even know them. And you're like, I don't know what it is. They got it going on. Like there's an air of confidence, not cocky, just people are drawn to the person. They're kind of working the room. And you're like, what do they got going on over there? Maybe it's their energy. Maybe they've either intentionally or unintentionally lifted their energy, positive vibration. They're throwing out positivity. People are drawn to that. And now I'm taking that situation and somebody who's got to speak in front of an audience and they're just a little uncomfortable, changing their energy so that not only do they look better, but and more confident, but what they're saying is more like people are like, yeah, I'm feeling that, what they're talking about. Yeah, it's the energy you're putting out. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
Hmm. Wow. Um, would you say it would make sense if we've got stuff going on that we should clear our energy before we even do it?
I would. I
Hmm.
would. Now, obviously, Reiki isn't the only thing that helps you. Sometimes you just need to ask for help from someone else, depending on what the situation is.
Okay.
Now, reaching out for help is not a weakness, it's a strength. Knowing when to ask for help and who to ask for help is a huge strength. And you can ask many people in your community on who you can reach out to for that. Um, you also need to surround yourself with support. Spend time with people who treat you the way you wish to be treated and remind you of your worth. That will continue to help you have that strength. Um, embrace that imperfection. Allow yourself to be fully human with flaws and vulnerabilities. If you do make a speech, it's okay if you're going to mess up. Allow yourself to be human and show that you're human. It's okay. And forgive. Forgive yourself and others. Let go of that weight of old mistakes. If you've gone up before and made a mistake and maybe you really messed up before, it's okay. Again, you're human and forgive yourself.
Hmm.
These things happen. Nurture the joy. We've said this before. Laugh, play, move, delight in the simple pleasures. Be excited about what you're doing. Why are you there? Somebody wanted you there. They believed in you. So challenge those old beliefs when critical thoughts arrive. Is it really true? Is it a voice that's just I carried and told me that that's not true, that I shouldn't be here? And make sure you're giving yourself that positive talk and those daily affirmations. Slowly rewire that inner dialogue.
Hmm. Um, those affirmations, how do you see that? What should we be saying on a regular basis and even inside our heads?
Well, you can come up with your own, but like a couple examples are like, I deserve love and happiness. I'm confident in myself and my ability to heal. My opinions and needs are valid and important. I am kind and patient with myself.
Hmm.
Those are just a few examples, but you can come up with your own affirmations and positive words for yourself because everybody speaks to themselves a little differently. I mean, some people are more formal, some people are not. So, however it works for you, you need to come up with your own positive talk.
And I find, okay, so I have a gratitude journal. I write in it every day or try to.
Hmm.
Simple. Three things. What are you grateful for? There's a field in the journal that says, what's your affirmation for today? And again, three things. You write them down. I find they change. Like I'm thinking about it, on that particular day. And it's kind of a little bit of a moving target. It's what you're feeling at the moment. Um, and there's nothing wrong with the same affirmations in your mind. Yes, I deserve abundance and love. I love the word deserve, by the way. You said it. I think it's just a great word. It just we do. But we don't think we do. And that's why I think it's a great word because we usually don't say, I deserve this, I deserve more, and whatever it might be. Um, but I find it changes depending on your state of mind. Maybe even during the day, your morning
Mhm.
affirmation could be different than your night affirmation, and on and on and on. Do you find that, when you think about yourself and things that you might say to yourself?
Yes, and I think it also is situational as well.
Mm,
Sometimes you need a different pep talk, as
yeah,
it were. Like, depending on what you're going into, what you're facing, you may need different words. Maybe they're a little stronger words than you would if you were, deciding that, hey, I'm going to bed. I need different affirmation, something a little calmer. So, as I said, your language is your language, however it works for you, and whatever you need to motivate and give yourself that positive light.
is everything we're talking about here, pretty much everything, all come down to vibration? I know you're thinking about it. It's a broad question, but
It is
when
a
you
very broad question.
but when you boil it down to all of this, like I'm trying to think, well, let's dissect it. Let's look at the pieces here. It's about energy. A lot
Mhm.
of I'm trying to think of what wouldn't be self-esteem. You're putting energy into either positive things or negative things within your esteem, right? Um, your confidence. There's energy within, so it's vibration. Um, your affirmations. I don't know. I'm seeing it seems to always come back to that. I'm trying to think of things that wouldn't be, but I don't know if
Yeah,
there are. I don't know. Just that kind of seems like it. What do you think?
it's a flow. It's an
Yeah.
energy flow. It is like a vibration of energy as it goes and it flows, and what we send out, we receive. It's a cycle
Yeah.
and it moves. It's just everything is in constant motion.
Which is energy too.
Mhm.
Hmm. Ah, somebody wants to change their let's focus on self-esteem for a moment.
Mhm.
Um, is it about affirmations? What other things can you suggest that can help somebody just raise their view of themselves up a little bit more?
Well, as I stated, you want to look at releasing that negative voice. Remember that not every thought that arises deserves your belief. Because so when you
Mm,
hear those negative thoughts, question them, think
mm,
about them. Where is this coming from? And again, forgive yourself
mm.
for anything that was an old mistake, and forgive others. That releases that weight, and find joy where you can. And you need support, even if it is a very small circle or a large circle. It just depends on how you move through the world. But spend time with those people who treat you the way you wish to be treated and remind you of your worth. Challenge that old belief of how you're any critical thought that comes in. Pause and ask yourself, is this really true or just a voice I've carried for too long? Now, keep in mind that it's a delicate balance of self-esteem and confidence. We weave it in as we work on it in our daily life. It's a journey like everything else, and it isn't a quick fix. So be kind to yourself and continue to work.
I've often heard that we need to give names to things so you can identify them. So that negative thought that comes up, like you said, where's it coming from? Take a moment and look at it. What do we got? Why are you thinking that? Should you give it a name so you know when that comes up again? There's that negative thought about the way that I'm hypothetical here, that negative thought about the way my body looks to other people. You think,
Mhm.
I need to lose weight. I need to build muscle, whatever it is. Identify that thought so you can think of why is this happening? Why am I hearing this? Where does it come from? Does it come from your childhood? Maybe you got made fun of. Just figuring out where it is and analyzing it. Um, you think that would be impactful just to give it more of an identity so you know when it shows up?
It can, or just recognizing that it's there. Because even the smallest shift in how we speak to ourselves can plant a seed of lasting change. So if you recognize, I mean, it could be as simple as, somebody said something to you in passing, but it's stuck. So as you can ask for additional help if you can't understand where it came from. There is help out there, additionally to help you if you need counseling or anyone else to go beyond. But there is to identify it and recognize that it's there is the first step.
What I'm hearing from you, and I've heard this before, but now it's really, really finally in my mind, finally resonating. And you've always heard that phrase, energy flows where the attention goes. So
Mhm.
if you have one little tiny negative thought, it's probably bigger than you think, and you're giving attention to it. You don't want to. You're just having that thought. There's that thought again. Does it sound reasonable? Like when those thoughts come up, get rid of them or process them, work with them instead of just putting attention on it. Yeah, I need to lose some weight. Yeah, like, got a pimple right there. Yeah, whatever it might be. Don't give that the attention you think it deserves. Get rid of it. Move through it. Do something with it. It just seems like even if it's little, it's actually bigger than you think.
Well, it's like a meditation. When you have like all this monkey mind, all those thoughts that came in,
Yeah.
I recognize it, say thank you, and then put it aside. Once you recognize it, identify what it is, give it a moment, and say, okay, that's what it is. Then put it aside, and then focus on your path forward.
You said meditation. We have one.
Good. We do.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Take a moment to find a comfortable, upright seat. Let your spine grow tall and your shoulders gently roll back and down. Let your chin slightly tucked. Rest your hands softly on your lap. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to close. Begin with a few deep, grounding breaths, inhaling slowly through the nose and exhaling fully through the mouth. Again, steady inhale and a gentle exhale. With each breath, let yourself arrive here. No rush, no agenda, just this moment of stillness. Now let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Notice how you feel right now. You might sense calm or perhaps restlessness. Whatever is here, simply acknowledge it without judgment. Allow your inner landscape to be exactly as it is, giving it permission to exist. From this place of presence, imagine yourself standing on top of a beautiful mountain. The sky is wide and open above you. The world stretches far below. Mountains, rivers, forests, shimmering lakes. A soft breeze brushes against your cheek, filling you with peace and possibility. As you take in this expansive view, bring your awareness to the soles of your feet, steady and grounded against the earth. Feel the energy of the mountain rising up to meet you. A glowing orange current flowing into your feet. Slowly it moves upward through your calves, your knees, your hips, your belly, filling you with warmth and vitality. This radiant orange energy continues to rise, flowing through your chest, your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. You may feel tingling, pulsing, or a gentle hum. Whatever you notice is perfect. You are safe, supported, and deeply connected. The energy reaches the crown of your head, and soon your entire body glows, lit from within. With every breath, you feel brighter, stronger, more alive. This energy overflows, cascading down around you in waves of light, wrapping you in courage and empowerment. Breathe in this strength. Know that within you is the power to create, to heal, to live the life you are meant to live. Rest here for a few breaths, soaking in this vitality. And now, gently bring your awareness back to your body. Feel the steadiness of your seat, the natural flow of your breath. Take one more deep inhale, soft exhale. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying the sense of empowerment and radiant energy with you into the rest of your day.
Hmm. I'm back. Wait a minute. What happened? um, all I can say for anybody that struggles with meditation, I was there, but I'm telling you, once you get in that zone and whatever you're doing over there, Samantha, I don't experience that with other meditations. I'm transported and out of here in about 30 seconds when you start speaking. I'm not even kidding. And I know you're speaking. I don't hear you, but I do hear you. But I'm floating somewhere just like, yeah, this is great. This is great. And even when you said come back, send your body and come back, basically, in my mind for a second, I was fighting it. Like, no, 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 no. Really cool. Um, and that's the perfect amount of time. It was like perfect. What's the best way to find you to dig deeper into all of this stuff and how it can support?
You can reach me at calmingvibrations.com or at contact@calmingvibrations.com.
Final question. I think you had
Yep.
mentioned maybe you have meditations on your website or social. Did I hear that right?
Yep,
How
I
bad?
started. I have one up there. I'm working on cutting down and putting the rest of them out there. So stay tuned. As I have time, I'm putting them all out there.
When you have time, there's something
Yep.
there. And I've heard a lot of them. I
Yep.
don't know what it's the energy, the voice, the tone, whatever it is. I'm not kidding. I'm like 30 seconds. I'm somewhere else. I don't know where I was floating, just like, oh, this is great. Thank you for today and all the insight. Really appreciate it as always.
Of course. Great.
Thanks.
Great to see you.
You too. We'll be right
Thank you. Have a
back.
good day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.